We had the European level. First of all, we thought about the message or the aim for this, and it's kind of, I have here actually a question: why is this project or the results are important to the EU, the European Commission? And most of you actually said it before. It's the insight or to inform about the public's perspective, hear the public, and all this about the citizen opinion that they actually matter. Also, what we have is feedback to the actual EU legislation effort as well. From the in our group, we actually very much focus on the result dissemination and what we would do to get this across on the European level. First of all, we thought about a workshop in Parliament, which is already planned, so that's a set thing. However, I think this can be a very big event or a smaller event. Then we also thought about satellite workshops and committees, and I've heard it in another group as well. So that is a very important measure, I think, to get people involved as well in the committees relevant to the project. So transportation, energy, food, for example. Then we also think about, or thought it was important to have workshops with the actual project managers and the administration staff, because I don't know how you have experienced it, but in Germany, in the German Parliament, the actual project managers are the key people to get information across to politicians. I had interviews with politicians who actually told me that 90% of the time they totally rely on their staff to pull in all the information they need for the decision-making process, because they just don't have the time to go through everything. So actually, to target these people is key if you want to get something across, if you want to get things moving. So to think about how to attract these people for your event, for your information is, I think, really important. So we thought about workshops, but this could be, something else as well. Generally, then the reports and the briefs, the policy briefs. Then we had another idea about hosting events in Brussels. So from all the participating countries, they could actually host. I know the Czech Republic, you actually have an office in Brussels. I know the German state has an office as well. So they could actually host events and then maybe invite German EU politicians to come over, as well as maybe other German stakeholders who fly around Brussels and who might be relevant to this information. Then I've written down here maybe also a video where we ask MPs for statements, but also to bring actually together the citizens who have participated in the project with the MPs from the different countries, because then this is a human interest story as well. So this is something which sells really good for media, but also it gives the citizens a really nice feel about, oh, this is important to politicians, and then politicians get the contact with the actual public. So that's nice too. Yeah. So.
So another important target group was national policymakers or politicians. We focused on the three main messages which we want to get to them. And of course, all the messages should be contextualized to our national policy and national situation, and examples also must be used from the national overview. So first message is that this event generated active and informed citizen participation in all the countries, and those are all the people who might be in a prospect future your electorate, because we will include also people from the villages, from the poorer socio-economic background, from the richer, etc., etc., etc. So all the political views should be also in that way mentioned in that, and to show the politicians and policymakers that taking this theme, that topic, and pushing to the debate, to the society, can be beneficial for him personally in the long perspective. And the main channel how we think it would be best to communicate this message is the personal communication and using our networks which organization and organization member have. Of course, it depends from the organization image and recognition in the country. Some organizations can go directly to the politicians or policymakers. Some organizations maybe will choose indirect way to influence them, and so far. So second message is that whole European countries talk about this issue. We're not alone. It's not only Lithuanian topic, not only Hungarian topic or etc. We all concerned about that, and sooner or later this discussion will get back to our countries, maybe in European Commission directives form or in different forms, but we should be prepared for that. And the main channel to reach out that message is the media coverage. Media is more likely to take the news if it's connects with a bigger picture of the Europe, not only national one. And the last message is sustainable consumption is overarching theme of various micro discussions. For example, resource efficiency, energy, and etc. So main channel and the tool how we can think we can promote this idea. In one way, it builds our politicians and policymakers that it's not the topic which is not discussed in our countries, but actually a lot of people, a lot of groups are discussing little micro topics in various situations, and all those micro topics connects in an overarching sustainable consumption. So we plan to make series of articles with maybe some NGOs working in that sector, maybe industry, that could be also experts' commentaries on those micro discussions, as I mentioned, resource efficiency or energy. And in those articles we also would include that it's a sub-theme of the main theme, which is sustainable consumption. So that's about national policymakers.
Okay. About the medias, we discussed the communication and channels and tools to target the medias. We had a discussion divided in two. First, we addressed the classical ways of reaching out the medias, and then second, we discussed, but more briefly, how we could rely on the less classical ways, like social medias, for instance, in order to have a hearing with the medias as a key actor to be targeted. So, first of all, we discussed that there was a core message to be delivered and to be built as well. well. So the core message in, let's say, Belgium is, and you need to build like a sort of story and to make it appealing to media people. So in order for it to be appealing, you need to raise a number of key questions like the W questions: when, where, what, and why as well, and then try to build a story out of it. Try to point at some controversy, to point at some conflicts, and try to make it appealing. So that's the first step before actually contacting the media. Then the second would be to work with different waves of press release. The first press release could be you send a save the date, and you tell journalists that they are the first to know about the event, that you haven't created a web page, for instance, that you will give them more content afterwards. Then the second press release can bring more information about the event, can be also accompanied by a number of other communicational tools like updating a website, creating a website, using Facebook or Twitter and so on. And then in a third step, it's also important to rely on personal contacts that either the organization or within the organization the communication officer has with specific journalists. That help when there are trusted professional relationship between like a network of journalists and the organization, that helps to make sure that the event will somehow be covered. So a fourth step could be to do some interviews with the television or with radio, for instance. That also can help to get a hearing in the media and to reach citizens, of course. And then we discussed what the core message could be, and I'm not sure I will enter into the details of it. So we just brainstormed very quickly what could be the core message that we would bring to the media. What would be the story here in the case of the work package 7? But I can answer some questions about it afterwards. And then second, we discussed briefly the social medias. Of course, if there is a Facebook page, you can like weekly post news about the events, more content, or you can also well, we wondered whether it was a good idea to have some very short videos of citizens who had enrolled already for the consultation and who were just explaining why they thought it was important, why they thought it was important to get their voice heard, or why they would advise other people to register. So we were also, we wonder whether we could do that, whether it was a good idea to scenarize the participants like that. And then there was a very good suggestion also by Marie-Louise to pick up some citizens and to try to contact them prior to the event and ask them whether they would accept to be in touch with journalists. So if they are in touch with journalists, let's say 4 or 5 citizens, maybe they could be interviewed prior to the events, during the event, and after that. And that's a good idea to have some just embedded experiences about what happens before and during and after the citizen consultation. Plus, that can also help to make sure you will have journalists on the D-Day, because they need to continue that process of being in touch with their citizen, as it were. So I think that's it.